he not only has great night vision, so he can actually scout heroes out and go for ganks, but he can create space for the Tinker, whereas AM and Tinker are both kind of just farm sponges, and you don't really want two people eating that much space on the map at the same time. So before the Tinker pick, AM would have been alright. After Tinker, it's not really as good, and yeah, Slark, he might not be amazing against a Morphling per se, but he destroys the rest of TNC's lineup.
Oh, and the last pick, Alchemist now. We'll have to see if that Slark is going to be able to get what he needs. It is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm very curious to see how this works. One other thing that I'll mention, oftentimes when they do run the team for him.
Yeah, it's not the best, but you know, you do what you can. Warlock is still a pretty reasonable lane support, even though he's kind of, maybe not exclusive to the C region, yeah.
What is going on here? Alchemist diving somewhat behind the tier 1 tower, but yeah, it's just a little bit more damage being thrown out there. And you mentioned it, ice, first blood, Cass takes it.
That was a bit over-aggressive from ice. The lane into you because they want to try to either do a jungle stack or, you know, they want to make sure they're not getting ganked, but Jabs realizes that the rotation potential on the side of TNC is not really that high. They have to commit 2 supports just to make sure that Rior is getting farm, right? And if they rotate, it's going to be super freaking obvious. He might be dead.
Jabs just running at him. Nicely played. Again, maybe a little bit of a misplay going on. Some nerves amongst these players showing.
Yeah, it's very common for... Oh, actually I might have to hold that thought. Ice.
Bottom lane in some trouble. They do get out the stun. Waveform is available. They're going to chase him down. And, well, can they find the kill? Teehee, they just don't do quite enough damage. Although XY will also take a beating on his way back out.
Bad, because that just propels the Tinker into an even better spot.
Well, maybe they can make something else happen here. And Invis Sam H is going to move in and wait for his moment. They ping out the courier, but don't really get into a position where they're going to be able to find that kill. And they might start thinking about trading farm. They have the rotation in from Cast. Jabs dropping low, and that is going to be a kill. They find the return against Cast with XY moving in, but I guess that's the best you could hope for with the Invis run.
That was a super good reaction, yeah, by the Tinker.
A lot of the tools they need to deal with the Alchemist if they have this level of farm. I mean, they have burst damage from Jabs. He's already level 9 at this point. We talked about it. Boots of Travel online, and it does feel like he can really start, you know, making his presence felt in a similar type of way. But the movement forward, Smoke Ink is going to be revealed, going to be able to catch the kill, potentially. Although as they pull him back in, Ravage gets popped onto 3, and I don't know if they have the follow-up that they need to make that work, unfortunately. Black rotates in, is going to be able to find the kill on the Cast. Meanwhile, XY chasing down Teehee. They are going to try and go for the deny or just run away?
He doesn't have a TP.
Alright. You don't want to lose the... What are they doing with the courier?
It's a bait. It takes like 4 hits for him to kill that thing. They're just doing it for vision.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Teehee is going to make the longest run in the world, but it is eventually going to run into ice, and the Tidehunter finds the kill.
I mean, it's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. 2 supports for a Tinker. In the circumstance that TNC are currently in, I would actually say that it's probably fine. More of an issue when things like swap are available, global silence for counter engage, or even just making your own engagement that much stronger. So I think, you know, their power spike, it's still going to be there. And Cuckoo has his Radiance and Armlet at less than 15 minutes in, so he's on point.
Feels like an important instance right here. Ravage is available, drops it onto 3. Oh my god, it's a lot of damage being dealt. Black turning on to Cast, trying to TP out. You're not going to get that one though, and Sam H so close to, well, not even really to Blink Dagger. Cuckoo is probably going to go down here as well. Man, Black is a force to be reckoned with already. Shadow Blade online and triple kill for him at 15 minutes.
Okay, that was very optimistic. I understand where TNC are coming from, wanting to defend their stack. They're like, alright, this is like a 4 stack of Ancients. It's a pretty big economical loss. Problem is, if you lose the ensuing fight to the Ancients that hard, you lose the Ancients, you lose the fight, and you lose a tower. So it's the risk versus reward factor that's not really just there, and Black is just going ham right now.
Oh man, that is really a problem. All of those stacks were depleted, but he still does a ton of damage. And another quick thing, I mentioned Teehee, he has just recently switched over to the support role, so maybe feeling not quite comfortable in that. It's certainly showing here as I believe that he's died the most out of everybody.
I think that means if you're going to have that like consistent high ground vision, you like rocket their whole, force them off the tower, you get damage on the going to be a very hard thing to deal with.
Up in the top lane, Jabs controlled for the moment, actually almost brought down the Morph lane, but the rotation in, able to get the Ravage counterplay, and Sam H, you are probably going to die, mister. They were able to escape with the Morph lane, but only just.
Yeah, it's nice that they managed to get the Morph out though, because he didn't have enough money for his Lincoln. It would have been unfortunate to die in that situation. But it's still pretty much all Faceless all the time right now. They are more or less dominating this game.
I mean,
all the towers right now from Faceless are alive. Like, not a tower has been. All of them are above half HP as well. Like that's just a crushing in the laning phase.
Well, and the other thing that's... Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. They are going to stun Jabs.
The kill.
Oh, they have a Blink Dagger. Well, no, they don't. Yeah, he's going to end up being in trouble. No more mana for rearm. Jabs getting ran down, and only hope is to try and get him blocked by creeps, but turns around and Alchemist found the kill. Good reaction there by Cuckoo.
Yeah, he realized that he had no mana, really. Yeah, they feel a lot more polished in the game we saw earlier.
4-13 is the score. Has still been an Alchemist farming away fairly consistently. What's the route for them to actually be able to... Oh man, is he going to die? Gets the bounty rune, but yeah, that was never meant to be.
If he had Chemical Rage, I think he might have been able to actually get away from that. I mean, you can't Manta Pounce, for example, but if he has the Chemical Rage, he might be able to toggle Manta for the confusion after the Pounce ends and maybe try to get away, but yeah. In Tier 2, we just lost part of our base. I mean, it's a sacrifice that was necessary, because there was no way they were going to be able to fight that. Now that the E-Blade's available, you know, maybe if Rior had that a little bit earlier, it would have been enough to be able to stop the push. And forget Aghanim's, Jab just goes straight Hex.
Oh man, Aether Hex, long range initiation with this. And I mean, it's a great item, great to deal with them. And they're throwing out the Lucian, Sam H hexed up, brought down Ravage onto 2, Ice, destroyed him. Follow up, Chaotic Operate. Oh, Cass, you're in trouble as well. Everybody dropping from TNC, and Faceless just stomped on their dreams, my god.
Yeah, that was, guys, I got my E-Blade, I'm dead.
Oh my god, and the meme is going to be real as Cuckoo is getting ready to drop. Another Hex dropped out on top of him, and, well, 5 heroes gone again.
That's got to be game. I don't see any way that they can come back from that.
That is a lot of damage. 30 minutes into it, 2 sets of racks. Did they pop mech that time? Alright, they did.
Yeah. They did enough to warrant one of the supports using an item.
They didn't pop pipe though, so Ice still holding on to that one just in case.
No, I think he popped it at the very beginning of the push when the creep wave was there.
Okay.
And it just came up like after the fight was kind of winding down. But yeah. I mean, what can you really say? That like TNC's draft, their supports just didn't do anything. Like they did nothing. I think they killed Ice once.
Right.
And that was the entirety of their early game. And then you have this Warlock who's like pulling and getting EXP. Sam H didn't have a Blink Dagger until 25 plus minutes into the game. Like, no hero did well in this game on TNC except for Cuckoo.
Oh, and they dropped the E-Blade combo. Don't find a kill. Still hitting away. This is going to be mega creeps. And TNC, you know, it's a valiant effort staying in the game. Never give up, never surrender. But GG is finally called. And Faceless looking strong.
Yeah, they really did look very convincing this game. Very few mistakes, if any, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a pretty strong draft. Even going back to the draft, why did they pick Ven?